प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय
अरे 11 दिन और 2 दिन और बैठो।
गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
निताय गौर
2 दिन आगे बेশি ছিল
बोल
না, পরে বেশি।
हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल।
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु
जय
महाराज की जय।
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
शिवगण कृष्णदास प्रभु जी की जय।
जय
सुदर्शन
सुदर्शन
वासुदेव प्रभु जी की जय।
जय
All
गुरु
glory
महाराज
to
की जय,
assembled devotees.
श्रील
Hare
प्रभुपाद
Krishna.
की जय, assembled
Assembled
devotees की जय.
devotees
Hare
once
Krishna.
again.
Prabhuji and Mataji's Hare Krishna finding new members, Srivas Gaurachandra Das Prabhuji and Suvarna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Would like to know from new members how you got the information. Srivas Prabhuji, ग्रुप से मिला होगा information. आप बोल सकते हैं? And Suvarna Mataji, Suvarna and K. Okay.
I
Hare
got
Krishna.
through
Next.
the group.
Suvarna, Dr.
Which group,
Suvarna?
Mataji? Which
This
group?
group.
Can I
Yeah.
can I have this?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Welcome.
Sudarshan
Thank you.
Prabhuji, I
And
think that she is with Anutta Prabhuji, no? Working with Dr. Suvarna, I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think okay. Anup,
Dr.
Dr. Anup.
Dr.
Okay,
Anutta
fine.
Prabhu.
Anup Suvadan. Okay, thank you, Mataji, for joining. Welcome. And Srivas Prabhu, are you able to speak? No, if you can. I think Prabhu must have got from I think Jayas. Hari bol.
हरी कृष्ण,
हरि
धन्यवाद
बोल।
प्रणाम।
अरे अंदर प्रॉब्लम आप तो आज ठीक है आपको ग्रुप से किस कौन सा ग्रुप से मिला आपको
आम प्रभुजी खाना
गौरव
याद है।
हाँ हरि बोल
खाना याद है।
थैंक यू वेलकम प्रभु Sivan Prabhu ji will take shelter holy name wants to welcome you devotees. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
sure, Prabhu.
Sure.
Okay. Hare
Welcome.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
कृष्णा
Hare
Hare
कृष्णा
Hare,
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama, Hare Rama,
हरे
Rama
राम
Hare
Rama,
हरे
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
राम
Rama
राम
Rama
हरे
Rama
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Will Sivan Prabhu requested to continue. Thank you.
Hare
Over
Krishna.
to you. Hare Krishna to enlighten us after a long time. We are getting our association. Hare Bol.
Thank you,
Hare
Guruji. Krishna. So, yesterday we have completed up to verse number 6, Thursday. So, today we will start with verse number 7 onwards of chapter 19, entitled King Yayāti Achieves Liberation. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Putreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktar Bhavati Nashtagi. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangum Langede Girim Yat Kurvadamaham Mande Paramananda Madhavam. Sri Gurum Deenadarinam Sri Chaitanyamesharam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadamahyam Dadanti Sabadantigam. Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Udavadagamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahana Raghunathanidandam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Pradijana Sakidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Vadan Sahana Larda Sri Vishakhanidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवगौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी वाचाद्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णाय Hare Krishna, welcome once more all devotees. So verse number 7, chapter number 19, Canto 9. Hare Krishna. Tam eva prashantatmaya atmaya ramamanam ajanyaya vilokya kupa samvigna namarsyad basta karmadat. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. When the she-goat who had fallen into the well saw her beloved goat engaged in sexual affairs with another she-goat, she could not tolerate the goat's activities. Okay.
We can go to the next one.
Yeah, okay. Verse number 8.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I shall read the next, Srimad Prabhu.
Okay, Baji. Thank you.
I will leave. I am about to leave. Maybe it's 10 minutes only. Hare Krishna.
No
Guru
problem.
Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, chapter 19, text number 8. Tam durhridam suhridrubam kaminam shana sauhridam indriyaramam utrajya swaminam tukkidayayo. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Aggrieved by her husband's behavior with another, the she-goat thought that the he-goat was not actually her friend, but was hard-hearted and was her friend only for the time being. Therefore, because her husband was lusty, she left him and returned to her former maintainer. Purport. The word Swaminam is significant. Swami means caretaker or master. Devayani was cared for by Shukracharya before her marriage. And after her marriage, she was cared for by Yayāti. But here the word Swaminam indicates that Devayani left the protection of her husband, Yayāti, and returned to her former protector, Shukracharya. Vedic civilization recommends that a woman stay under the protection of a man. During childhood, she should be cared for by her father, in youth by her husband, and in old age by a grown son. In any stage of life, a woman should not have independence. A controversial statement. Hare Krishna. Shivana Prabhu will enlighten on that. Nastri Swadhantra Mahadi, Sudarakshadi Kaumari Bhattrekti Avni. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisance to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So we are discussing from the 19th chapter, King Yayāti achieves liberation. So very important points are discussed here, how the Yayāti is giving his realizations. The first 12 verses, Yayāti is describing about the story of goats. Actually, it is that by their own life he is describing in the form of the goat story. Because Yayāti becomes very much disgusted with sense enjoyment. We know King Yayāti enjoyed for thousands of years. But finally, what was the result? The whole Bhagavatam is telling about the sense enjoyment, because sense enjoyment cannot give happiness. The material world, everybody thinks that by sense enjoyment we can get happiness. The scriptural understanding and it very clearly gives that after even under enjoying for thousands of years, King Yayāti felt frustrated. So that's why he's telling this story to Devyani in the form of a he goat and she goat, which is actually his personal experience. But instead of telling directly, he's using the analogy of a experience of a he goat and she goat. So we are in this verse number, started today from verse number 7. Verse number 7 says, continues the story of the he goat and she goat. And the she goat who had fallen into the well, which is referring actually to the Devyani only, saw her beloved goat engage in sexual affairs with another she goat. She could not tolerate the goat's activities. So this is very, very important point here we can see in the current affairs also. So marriage is very sacred, and once they are married, the husband and wife, they have to be very faithful to each other. Otherwise, the family will be very much affected. The whole family will be affected. Not only the family means including their children's future also will be affected. So one of the regulative principles in ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is that 4 regulative principles is no illicit sex. That means sex outside the marriage. That is not a, that is a sin actually. It is considered as a sin according to our scripture. Dyutam Sthanam, Dyutam Panam, Striya Sunaha. 4 places where Kali Yuga resides. One is illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, gambling. In the beginning of Bhagavatam itself described. At these 4 places the Kali resides. So anybody is violating this, then automatically is being influenced by Kali, and it is also actually a sin. So that is the same thing here. The she goat who had fallen into the well saw her beloved goat engaged in sexual affairs. Another she goat means. So basically, it is describing about sex outside the marriage. Current modern affairs also we can see there are big celebrities, like they are so wealthy, they are so famous, but the case has come like gone up to like divorce because of the same situation. So like this, there are a lot of incidents in Tamil Nadu also, like people because of this, their good, nice, stable family becomes destroyed. So we can relate how this is very practical. Sometimes people think that scriptures, they give a lot of things which is not practical, but we can see here how Bhagavatam is teaching us, how Bhagavatam is saving us by giving the right instruction. Especially these are all applicable for the Grahastha devotees because the brahmacharis or sannyasis, they are not in this line. Normally, this is describing about the importance of the Grahastha, how he should live with his family, so that he is having an ideal family life without unnecessary troubles. So very important instruction. Continuing to verse number 8. Aggrieved by her husband's behavior with another, the she-goat thought that the he-goat was not actually her friend, but was hard-hearted and was her friend only at the time being. Therefore, because her husband was lusty, she left him and returned to her former maintainer. So basically, this is again telling about the she-goat. Again, it is referring to Devyani only. So she felt very disgusted with his husband because his husband is having a relationship outside the marriage. So she lost the complete trust. So because of that, she left her husband and because he was so lusty, and he went to his father's home and taken. So that's a former maintenance. Maintainer means it refers to father Sukracharya. So here Prabhupada is writing the purport. The words Swaminam is significant. So Swami means caretaker. So normally Swami sometimes is referred to the husband also because husband is a caretaker. Or you can also Swami means we say Goswami. Swami also means master. So 2 words are there meaning Goswami means one who has controlled his senses. So that's why called Go means senses, Swami means master. So one who has mastered his senses is called Goswami. And one who is servant of the senses is called Godas. So also Swami means caretaker, which refers to the husband or the father, whoever caretakes. Normally who takes care, the parents, they take care, or his husband takes care. So Swami is referring to the caretaker or master. 2 meanings are there for this word. Devyani was cared for by Sukracharya. So father, when she was young, Father Sukracharya is taking care before her marriage. So that's Vedic system. And after her marriage, she was cared by Yayāti. But here, the word Swaminam indicates that Devyani left the protection of her husband, Yayāti, and returned to her former protector, Sukracharya. So Vedic civilization recommends that a woman stay under the protection of a man. So this is our Vedic culture. Always the woman should be given protection. It is not control, it is protection. So we should understand, sometimes people, they misunderstand or mistake, like what is this meaning actually? It is protection. Because they are vulnerable in the society. Even in Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna says to Krishna that if all these people are killed, what about, there will be a Varna Shankara, because the woman will not be protected. So that is one case which Arjuna is referring to stop the war. Before the war begins, he is giving one of the argument is, if I kill all the opponents, the ladies will become without any caretaker. And then the men will exploit the woman and there will be a Varna Shankara. So we should understand that. Yes, Prabhu? Shigma Prabhu?
Kulakshayam, Prabhuji?
Kulakshayam. Yes. Varna Shankara. The word used is Varna Shankara. Varna Shankara means it will be mixed. Everything will be mixed together and it will make a unhappy population.
Yes.
Kulakshaya Kritam Dosham. So yeah, this is the verse. So Vedic civilization recommends that a woman stay under the protection of a man. Now, if you present this, maybe not everybody will accept, right? Because modern times, the whole the whole thing has changed. Women want to become independent, but our Vedic culture was having a different kind of setup and design. But now current system is different because men also not taking care of the woman properly. That also there, because one of the reasons now modern times, the men also sometimes they are not taking care of the woman, especially for them to give their necessities. So women also trying to become independent, especially this thought came from the Western civilization. Our Vedic civilization this is a culture, but the Western civilization is influencing the whole world. And a part of that influence, now things are gradually changing. And because of this, what happens? Many things are going not as per the proper etiquette or proper system. You can say. So here, our Vedic culture is that women stay under the protection of a man. So during the childhood, she should be cared by her father. So we all know that every child is being taken care by the parents till they are grown up to their marriage. And once they are married, the same father who taken care would normally encourage the daughter not to come, because he will not encourage the daughter to be more time in his own home, because he will advise you always should be with your husband only. So in the youth, will be taken care and protected by the husband. And in the old age, normally, they are taken care by grown son. Even when Srila Prabhupada took sannyas, Prabhupada's wife was taken care by his children. So that was a system. In any stage of life, woman should not have independence. So this is what our scriptures are teaching. This is only taught for our own good, for the society good. Because the world is like that. We are seeing so many news. Even some women, they walk alone without any protection. What happens? We see a lot of reading lot of news. Every day it is coming. So this is where the world is like that. Because of that world nature, these things should be followed. That women should not have any independence, means they should be under some protection, either by father or by husband or by their children. Then they are considered to be protected and safe. So this is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. Of course, as I said, this is a very sensitive topic. Sudarshan also highlighted. Not everybody may accept it, but if you see on a long-term vision, it is good. But at the same time, when we say a woman should not have independence, we should also know the men who are taking care, they should take care properly. The husband should take care also properly. Otherwise, it becomes again another different complexity. If the husband is exploiting the woman, sometimes the husband treats the woman like a slave, then it will become another unnecessary problem. So when it is said any stage woman should not have independence, means it is implied that whoever is a caretaker, they should take care of the woman very nicely. Of course, father will take care. There is no doubt in that. Every father, they take care of their daughters very nicely. There is no doubt. But when they go to their husband's house, not every husband will treat the wife very fairly. Sometimes they may exploit, they may harass, they may abuse, and it may lead to so much unnecessary, mental stress, anxiety, depression. Sometimes even the ladies, they commit, suicide like that. So when we say this, it is meant that whoever is taking care of the woman, they should take care, with the proper etiquette. In that context, scriptures are advising, and that in that way, if the society is following, then we can avoid a lot of unnecessary problems which are facing now today in this modern world. Hare Krishna. So that things should be understood in the proper context. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anybody want to discuss anything, point? Any Matajis want to highlight any point regarding this statement? Because this statement can be sometimes taken in a, if you don't understand with the proper
That is
context.
what Sudarshan Prabhuji told. Shivala
Yeah,
Prabhuji explained it in detail.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
controversy.
No, that's what.
Should
What
not have
happens?
independence.
Yeah. What happens? Modern lifestyle, no, Prabhu. Now many people, the woman also not taken care of properly by the husband. Sometimes, cases are there. Then it will have a lot of complications, right? It is whenever the scriptures are mentioning, it is always that ideal condition they are mentioning. Ideal condition means the husband also should take care of their wife needs and respect, love, care, affection. Everything should be there. That's what Vedic culture is saying. That is saying Grahastha Ashram. That's what scripture Bhagavatam also mentioning. Grahastha Ashram means both husband and wife should actually be together very peaceful and serve the Lord. But if there is a case of abuse and harassment, then that is a different issue. Hare Krishna.
I
Yes,
think
Prabhuji.
what Srila
Yes,
Prabhupada
yes, Prabhu.
meant is that there should be a support from either son,
Yes.
husband, or like
Yes,
that.
yes.
I mean, when it is a wife,
Protection, Prabhu. Protection and care.
yeah, protection. Yes.
Protection and care. Yes.
So that's
And,
only what
and Prabhupada,
Prabhuji meant, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't only say chaste woman, it chaste wife. He always says gentleman husband and chaste woman. First he
Yes.
says gentleman husband.
Yeah, of course.
That is ideal.
That is very important.
Yeah.
It's not that man can do whatever he.
Otherwise,
Yes.
it will
But over a period of time, the Varna system was misused, exploited. It is continued traditionally, like caste based on birth. So in the same way, this also was exploited, misinterpreted, and women were, suppressed. So that is not correct. So combination is of a gentleman husband. So,
It's
so
mutual.
yes, he doesn't. Yes, Prabhu. Although the Shabdartha is that she doesn't deserve independence, the Bhavartha is she should be taken care of.
Protected. That is the key word.
Protection. As Prabhu told, the body very vulnerable. Yes, protected. Yes.
Their
Cared, protected from very much vulnerable, Guru. Yes. Very easy to cheat. You say some good, nice words and some nice presents or gifts. They are, they are carried away. On an average.
Yes.
Even the most educated, the so-called material educated modern women also are getting trapped like that. As you are telling about the case of celebrities are highlighted, we know about them, but there are of ordinary people, they are not highlighted, but it is happening everywhere.
Yes.
Hare Krishna would like to listen from our Madhajis if they want to say anything. Add something on because.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yesterday, Divagara Prabhu asking our Prabhuji asking the questions. So when Krishna left, the queens they give to Arjuna. Then Arjuna bringing back. Then the queens are they are kidnapped. So Prabhuji explained that the Krishna himself come as a protector of this.
Yes, Krishna was the kidnappers, dacoits.
Yeah.
There is a reason behind that, Prabhu. Did Prabhuji say about the reason?
No, not reason.
Why?
That is why every time Krishna will protect me. That is the protection. Means who will the ladies will be protected always.
But there is a secret also behind this. Maybe anyone remember can highlight that secret.
No.
Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhu, he didn't explain that one.
Okay,
Just,
maybe nobody remembering, but we discussed also. No problem. We explained in this class. We explained. I explained. Okay, maybe you are not remembering.
Couldn't understand,
Maybe
Prabhuji.
if I start, Mataji, like Arjuna could not protect Lord's wives from dacoits. No, they were kidnapped. Arjuna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
After
Balaram Prabhu-
Lord went back, no, Prabhuji?
Correct.
Yeah.
What happened?
So all the
Like
flowers was
so
because of Lord
the
only.
question was asked by the question was asked by Divakar Prabhu to Gauranga Prabhu. So Gauranga Prabhu said that the dacoits were Krishna. Krishna disguised as the dacoits, like in the form of some cowherd men only, ordinary men, and kidnapped because he himself was protecting them. That is fine, but there is a reason also why he came like that. That I was trying to discuss. Not okay. If nobody is remember, if I start speaking, then many of you will remember. I am sure. What happened once? All these women had teased, mocked at Ashtavakra Muni because Ashtavakra Muni has got 8 curves in his body. His physical appearance is not so good. So he cursed them to be kidnapped. So Rishi's words should be true. And who can kidnap them other than Lord Krishna?
Yeah.
So Krishna appeared like that. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Just
Hare
remember
Krishna.
this. These are very secrets, very, I just call it Krishna's pastimes, that.
Yeah. Yes. Hare Krishna.
So inner meanings. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Like one more thing I remember here that like Yadus, why they fought with each other and died. Because they are very powerful. After Lord Krishna leave, nobody will be able to control them. So Lord may ensure that they are going back. They are Devadas, or parts of Amsas or Kalas or Devadas. Lord ensure that they are going back and they will not become a burden on earth again. Then only Lord. Hare Krishna, thank you. We'll not prolong.
And then Gandhari also given that Yaduvamsam will get destroyed, no, Prabhuji? Gandhari also give...
Mataji, Lord is... Correct. The very, very good point brought out to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. The question, Shivana Prabhu. Prabhu,
Yes.
if you would like to answer for this.
No, you can answer. Please continue, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
G can continue. That's what Shogana Prabhuji told.
Yeah, maybe network. I don't know, Prabhuji, network issue or something.
Sudarshan Prabhuji, audible? You can hear?
I think network issue, Prabhu. Maybe.
Now I can hear. Yes.
Yeah.
Prabhuji would like to answer?
No, Prabhu, please continue, Prabhu.
Mother Gandhari's curse.
Prabhuji, you continue that.
Because the Lord want to satisfy everyone. Yeah, Lord want to satisfy everyone. So Mother Gandhari is also devotee. And Lord Krishna knows about the predicament of a mother who is losing all her children. So, and Lord also want to send Yadavas back to their original constitutional possession, Devadas. So to satisfy her and to fulfill this mission, he only, prompted or influenced Mother Gandhari to curse. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Lord is
Multiple things.
Multiple
Krishna
Prabhu.
executes in a single
Multitasking, Prabhu. Multitasking, like killing Jarasandha by Bhima. That also multitasking. Whatever Lord do, all multitasking, Prabhu. With one and calling, asking Jarasandha to bring more and more Kshatriya warriors, so that Lord and Balram need to go and search for them.
Yeah.
Lot of multitasking, Prabhu. Lotus.
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, bro. Hare Krishna. So then we will go to the next verse, Prabhu. There is no further discussion.
Yeah, verse 9.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, chapter 19, shloka number 9. So api chanugata strainaha krupanastham prasaditum kurvanni ida na shaknotpati santutum. So api chanugata strainaha krupanastham prasaditum kurvanni ida na shaknotpati pathi santutum. Translation: being very sorry, he got who was
Subservient.
subservient to his wife followed the she-goat on the road and tried his best to flatter her, but he could not pacify her. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, thank you, Mataji. I think next verse will go, Prabhu. Shikmar, Prabhu.
Okay, Vaji.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Asya tatra dvijah kaschid अजास्वामी अक्षिनादृशा लम्बान्तं वृषणं भूयः सन्धते आर्थाय योगवित् तस्य तत्र द्विजः कश्चित् अजास्वामश्चिनदृशा लम्बत्तं वृषं भूयः सन्दते आर्दाय योगवित्. Translation: the she-goat went to the residence of a Brahmana who was the maintainer of another she-goat, and that Brahmana angrily cut off the he-goat's dangling testicles, but at the he-goat's request. The Brahmana later rejoined them by the power of mystic yoga. Purport: here Sukracharya is figuratively described as the husband of another she-goat. This indicates that the relationship between husband and wife in any society, whether higher or lower than human society, is nothing but the same relationship between he-goat and she-goat. For the material relationship between man and woman is one of sex. Yan Maidhunadi Gruhamedi Sukam Hi Tucham. Sukracharya was an acharya or expert in family affairs, which involved the transfer of semen from he goat to she goat. The words Kachit, Aja, Swami expressly indicate herein that Sukracharya was no better than Yayāti, for both of them were interested in family affairs generated by Sukra or semen. Sukracharya first cursed Yayāti to become old so that he could no longer indulge in sex. But when Sukracharya saw that Yayati's emasculation would make his own daughter a victim of punishment, he used his mystic power to restore Yayati's masculinity, because he used his power of mystic yoga for family affairs and not to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This exercise in the magic of yoga was no better than the affairs of he goats and she goats. Yogic power should properly be used to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord Himself recommends in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, Yoginamapi sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we are coming to the verse number 10. So the 9th verse already, the she goat left the he goat. And here we can see in the 10th verse, the she goat went to the residence of a Brahmana, which is basically referring to Sukracharya. Who was the maintainer of another she goat means it is Sukracharya's wife, or mother of Devyani. And that Brahmana angrily cut off the he goat's dangling testicles. That means basically is referring to the loss of the making him impotent. And Yayāti important, making Yayāti important. But at the he goat's request, the Brahmana later rejoined them by the power of this means giving back the power of this one. So basically it is like a curse and blessing. Two things are happening in this same thing. There was a curse first to make him impotent, and then there was a blessing that he is reviving back his potency of this one. So Prabhupada writes here Sukracharya is figuratively described as husband of another she goat. This indicates the relationship between any husband and wife in any society, whether higher or lower than human society, is nothing but the same relationship between the he goat and she goat. For material relationship between man and woman is one of sex. So why this is described as the she goat and she goat? We know from this very famous from Mahabharata that Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maitunam Cha Samane Eti Pasubir Naranam Dharmo Hitesham Adhiko Vishesho Dharmena Hina Pasubir Samanam. That means eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. These four things, Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitunam. These are four common to human beings and animals. Dharma hitesham adhiko vishesho. Only the dharma or the spiritual life differentiates a human being from animals. But if dharmena hina, if the dharma is not there, pasibir samana. We are actually equal to animals. So that's what here. The same relationship, whether higher or lower human society, does not matter. But if the relationship between the male and female is only for the sex, then it is considered to be an animalistic life. En maitunadi grahamedi sukham hi tucham. So this kind of life is actually grahamedi. Grahamedi means one whose life is centered on sense enjoyment. And grahastha is opposite to grahamedi. Grahastha means one whose life is centered on spiritual life, keeping Krishna in the center. Grahamedi, for him, the sukham is actually only sexual pleasures. En maitunadi grahamedi sukham hi tucham. Sukracharya, actually he was an acharya, or see the name itself, you can see Sukra means it's actually Virya. He's the acharya of that Virya. Sukra, Sukracharya was an acharya or expert in family affairs. So with the name itself we can understand he's an expert in the acharya for the expert in the family affairs. That's Sukracharya. So which involved the transfer of semen from the he goat to she goat. The verse here, the words Kastit Ajaswami expressly indicate herein that Sukracharya was no better than Yayāti, because whatever Yayāti is doing, he is also in the sexual engrossed in the sexual pleasure, and refers then Sukracharya also is expert in that. For both of them were interested in family affairs generated by Shukra or semen. So because both are only like a Grahamedi, like they are only interested in this. So Sukracharya, first out of frustration that his daughter was cheated, he cursed Yayāti to become old, so that he can no longer indulge in sex. But same time Sukracharya is seeing that Yayāti's this impotency will make his own daughter as a victim of punishment. So no more his daughter can enjoy with his husband. So again what he did is using his mystic power. He restored the Yayāti's masculinity. So how did he do this mystic power? This mystic power is because of his tapasya. The tapasya, whatever we are doing, we all know here this Kundalini, right? Kundalini, like it is coming when we do any tapasya, austerity, spiritual life. This Kundalini rises from the base of the spine and it travels upwards. But people who are Grahamedis, it is never rising. It is only there. So based on this tapasya, is actually cultivating this. But what that tapasya which is used to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is using for his family affairs. Here, that mystic yoga for family affairs. And because of it, he is actually failing in the spiritual life also. Because he is using this power, whatever he accumulated for the family affairs, and not to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Prabhupada writing this exercise in the magic of yoga, mystic yoga, was no better than the affair of goats, he goat and she goat. So main point here, yogic power, whatever we are doing, should be used to realize the Supreme Lord. Whatever tapasya we are doing, that we get power because of tapasya. And that the power we should use for actually realizing the Lord, not for any material benefits. As the Lord himself recommends in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, the last verse of the 6th chapter, Yoginam, of all the yogis, Sarvesham, of all the yogis, Madgate Antaratmana, who is always thinking about me inside in his heart and worships me, Shraddhavan, Bhajate, worships Yo Mam, Same Yukto Tamo Mataha, is very, very dear to me and he is the highest of all. So, translation of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest of all. So normally everybody says in Bhagavad Gita there are different kinds of yoga. We all know, we are reading Bhagavad Gita. We know there is Karma Yoga, the beginning 6 chapters. Then there is Bhakti Yoga, middle 6 chapters. And the last 6 chapters talks about Jnana Yoga. And in the 6th chapter, Krishna also speaks about Ashtanga Yoga. And so there are different yogas mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. So many people say that, okay, Krishna not only emphasizes on Bhakti Yoga, you can take any yoga path and you can realize Krishna. But Krishna himself gives a conclusion in the 6th chapter upon all yogis. There are different yogas. Yoga means to connect with the Supreme Lord. That's called yoga means union. So there are different yoga processes mentioned in the scriptures. And Krishna gives a conclusion of, even though there are many, many yogis, who is best. So that is conclusion is given in the 6th chapter, last verse. Yoginam api sarvesham, of all the yogis, who is always thinking about me in his heart and worshipping me, he is actually considered to be most intimately related with me in yoga, and he is the highest of all. That means people who are practicing bhakti yoga, they are considered to be considered from the Krishna's point of view as the topmost. The same way also, 12th chapter also Krishna is saying, and Arjuna is asking to whom to worship, the Brahman without form, or we should worship God with the form. And Krishna is telling people worship with form, they are considered to be perfect and complete. So these two things, normally people have confusion of whether all the yoga is same. Krishna is telling no, even though all the yogas are progressively taking you closer to the Lord, but who are actually following Bhakti Yoga, practicing Bhakti Yoga, they are considered to be the highest of all the yogis, and they are more intimately connected with the Supreme Lord, intimately united. So that is there, and worshipping form or formless, that is also answered by Krishna in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that among all the worshippers, the personalist and the impersonalist, the personalists are considered to be the people who are perfect and their worship is complete to be the right one. So those two things we have to understand, that we are very fortunate to be under the practicing Bhakti Yoga. Many people, they are practicing Jnana Yoga, they read Upanishad, they read many other scriptures, but Bhagavad Gita, when we are practicing Bhakti, that is considered to be highest and perfect about among all the yoga system, as per the Krishna's conclusion in 6.47. Hare Krishna. So, there any questions or discussion? Otherwise, you can go to verse number 11.
I think, Prabhuji, you can read 11.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Yeah. Somebody want to read or I will?
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Yes, Mother, please. Go ahead.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19, verse number 11. Samvattha Vrishna Sobi Vijaya Kribaleptaya Kalam Bahutitham Bhadre Kamair Nyadyapi Tushyadi. Samvattha Vrishna Sobi Vijaya Kribaya Kribaleptaya Kalam Bahutitham Bhadre Kamair Nyadyapi Tushyadi. Translation: My dear wife, when the he-goat had his testicles restored, he enjoyed the she-goat he had gotten from the well. But although he continued to enjoy for many, many years, even now he was not even fully satisfied. Purport: when one is bound by affection for one's wife, one is attached to sexual desires that are very difficult to overcome. Therefore, according to Vedic civilization, one must voluntarily leave his so-called home and go to the forest. Panchasortavam vanam vrajet. Human life is meant for such tapasya or austerity. By the austerity of voluntarily stopping sex life at home and going to the forest to engage in spiritual activities in the association of devotees, one achieves the actual purpose of human life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. I think Prabhu will read 12 also because 11 and 12 is actually realization. So after the 12, 11 and 12 we'll finish and we can discuss one more verse we can.
Okay.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Yes, madam.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, madam. Continue.
तथाहं त्रिभुवनः सुभ्रू भवत्या प्रेमयन्द्रिता आत्मानं नाभिजानामि मोहितस्तव मायया. तथाहं कृपणः सुभ्रू भवत्या प्रेमयन्द्रिता आत्मानं नाभिजानामि मोहितस्तव मायया. Translation. Oh, my dear wife with beautiful eyebrows, I am exactly like that he got, for I am so poor in intelligence that I am captivated by your beauty and have forgotten the real task of self-realization. But if one remains a victim of the so-called beauty of his wife, his family life is nothing but a dark well. Hitvatma padam graham andhakupam. Existence in such a dark well is certainly suicidal. If one wants relief from the miserable condition of material life, one must voluntarily give up his lusty relationship with his wife. Otherwise, there is no question of self-realization. Unless one is extremely advanced in spiritual consciousness, household life is nothing but a dark well in which one commits suicide. Prahlada Maharaja therefore recommended that in due time, at least after one's 50th year, one must give up household life and go to the forest. Vanam gado yad dharim asrayeda. There one should seek shelter at the lotus feet of Hari. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very, very wonderful instruction about the realization. Now we know we started this verse actually from 1 to 12 is actually Yayāti's the story of the goats, renunciation story of the goats up to verse number 12. So we can see he's completing that story of this he goat and she goat. And verse number 11 and 12 is giving his realization. Very important because the realization is what very important. So the story has a realization and the realization is given in verse number 11 and 12. In verse number 11, Yayāti is saying, this Yayāti realization very, very important for all the grastas. So my dear wife, when the he goat had his testicle restored, he again started enjoying the she goat who had gotten from the well. But although he continued to enjoy for many, many years, even now he has not been fully satisfied. So this is the result of lust. Kamayesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava. Mahasana, Mahapapa, Vidhi Eva, Vairinam. Krishna says that this lust is never satisfied. It is like, it is like a burning fire. And it is the eternal enemy of the conditioned soul. When the third chapter of Bhagavatam, Krishna is telling. So the lust will never be fully satisfied. Any amount of enjoyment will not satisfy the heart, the soul. So here we can see verse number 11, Prabhupada writes, when one is bound by affection for one's wife, one is affected, one is attached to sexual relations, that is very, very difficult to overcome. Verse number 11, Prabhu, overcome. Therefore, according to Vedic solution, one must voluntarily leave his so-called home and go to forest. This was our Vedic system. Panchasodam Vanam Rajet. Panchasodam is 50 years. Vanam Rajet means you have to go to the forest. But of course, there is no forest now here. All the forests are converted now to villas. So it means for modern context, we can say we can associate with the nearest temple. Wherever the service seva is there, we can go and do some service. That will almost equivalent to this. Because now, practically speaking, who can go to the forest leaving the home? There is no Wi-Fi, there is no internet there. how we can go and be there. So here we can see we have to associate. Normally in Krishna consciousness, we can see in ISKCON temples, there are people after retirement, they go and associate with the nearby temple. They do some service there. Here Bhagavatam. So like that, that is also like, that is a practical way which can be followed as per this instruction. But after 50, Pancha Shordam, Vanam Rachet. Means after 50 years, one should try to get retirement and move towards spiritual life more seriously. Because human life is meant for such tapasya or austerity. Tapo divyam putra karena satyeta suddhe. Yasmat brahma satyam tu anantam. Rishabhadev says this human life is meant for tapasya, austerity, for getting an eternal life. By the austerity, tapasya, this is also austerity. So stopping sex life is also austerity. Austerity of voluntarily stopping sex life at home and going to the forest to engage in spiritual activities in the association of devotees. Very important. Association of devotees. Even if you go to the forest alone, again will be trapped. Like we hear the story of Bharat Maharaj. He went to the Bhava stage, but there is no association. He got trapped by the affection of a deer. So wherever we go, we should be in the association of devotees. So in that association, we can actually progress in Krishna consciousness. In that way, one achieves the actual purpose of human life. It's a very important. We need to read repeatedly, meditate on this, pray to the Lord to give strength for this. Because Prabhupada also says, by our own efforts only we can progress up to a certain extent in Krishna consciousness. But beyond that, we need Krishna's mercy. Otherwise, very difficult. It's not easy. Mama Maya Duratya, Krishna says. So we have to pray, meditate, repeatedly hear, and ask Krishna to give strength to follow the instructions as per the scriptures. So verse number 12, my dear wife with beautiful eyebrows, I'm exactly like that he goat. Now he is concluding, I am like that he goat. Whatever the story I told, I am the he goat. Why? Because I am so poor in my intelligence. Because the lust will actually hijack the intelligence. So Krishna says, where is the lust sitting? He's telling this lust is sitting in the senses, mind, and intelligence. So intelligence is very high. When the intelligence is corrupted, then everything becomes corrupted. So I am so poor in intelligence that I am captivated by your beauty and have forgotten the real task of self-realization. So one nice pastime is here this. Like Prabhupada's wife was not very so beautiful. So when Prabhupada, his father told Prabhupada, no, see, you are very lucky. Your wife is not beautiful. So that easily you can cultivate Vairagya. Because ultimately Vairagya is important. If you want to control the mind, without Vairagya, it is not possible. And suppose Prabhupada's father advised him like that. You can easily cultivate Vairagya. Suppose the wife is very beautiful, then the husband becomes, like he becomes fully surrendered. Instead of surrendering to Krishna, he surrenders to his wife. We are seeing modern context also many cases like that. So I am so poor that I am captivated by your beauty and have forgotten the real task of self-realization. See, this is Yayāti realization. And you can see this verse number 13 to 20 will be more powerful than this. How he's explaining the mechanism of lust and how it will trap a person, how it will not lead to any satisfaction, insatiable lust. All very beautiful coming verses will be very, very practical and very, very important for our life to follow, to meditate. So Prabhupada writes here, if one remains a victim for the so-called beauty of his wife, in the Sri Sampradaya also there was one person, this famous pastime where he was carrying an umbrella to his wife and staring at his eyes. Then even Ramanujacharya was coming, he did not care who is coming. Then, everybody was telling, Ramanujacharya coming. He's telling, no, I don't care. See, my wife is so beautiful. Whoever comes, I don't care. Then Ramanujacharya asked him, so, okay, why are you so much, like absorbed in your wife's face? So he said that, my wife's eyes is so beautiful. So I cannot take my eyes. And Ramanujacharya replied, if I can show you something more beautiful than this, then can you leave it? Param Drishtva Nivartate, like if you get a higher taste. The whole spiritual life is actually getting a higher taste. If we get this higher taste, easily we can give up everything. So Ramanujacharya asked, okay, if I show you something more beautiful than this, can you then come out of this clutches? He said, there is nothing like that more beautiful, but if you can show, definitely then I will see like what I can do. Then Ramanujara took to the Sriranga, the temple, and prayed to Ranganath to give darshan. And when the person, he saw the Lord's beautiful eyes, then he accepted, yes, there is still more beautiful, and then he surrendered and he became disciple of Sri Ramanujacharya.
I see. Okay.
So yes, the whole thing, whatever you are practicing, is first to control our mind. That is Vairagya. Then second goal of our spiritual life is to release that happiness. That when the higher taste, which Krishna says, Param Drishtva, unless we taste that higher taste, we may not be able to give the lower taste. Whatever in the taste we have in this material world, very difficult to give up because we have not tasted anything higher than that. So by our spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, we should taste. Like how the Goswamis are saying, no, that to chant Krishna's name, one tongue is not enough. I need millions of tongues, millions of ears to hear the holy name of Krishna. So much nectar is there in that one word. So like that, spiritual life is actually experiencing happiness through practicing devotional service, so that we are not getting victim to this material sense gratification. His family life is nothing but a dark well. Hitvatma padam grahamanda kupam. See, the family rasta life is compared as grahamanda kupam, means it's a blind well. If you fall into that, very difficult to come out. Existence in such a dark well is certainly suicidal. If one wants a relief from miserable condition of material life, very beautifully provided, one must voluntarily give up his lusty relationship with his wife. See, very important. If one wants relief from the miserable condition of material life, one must voluntarily give up his lusty relationship with his wife. Otherwise, there is no question of self-realization. Unless one is extremely advanced in spiritual consciousness, household life is nothing but a dark well in which one commits suicide. So Prahlad Maharaj therefore recommended that in due time, at least after one's 50th year, Panchashona Vrajam Vraja. What is it? It is previous verse Prabhupada mentioned. We have to go to the forest. Same thing Prahlad Maharaj is telling, that at least after one's 50th year, one must give up household life and go to the forest. That means to the nearest ISKCON temple. Vanam gato yat darim ashriyate. There one should seek shelter at the lotus feet of Hari. So this is the solution. Because the lust, coming, why this is voluntary we have to give up? Because in 13th verse, Yayāti will say, a lusty person cannot have no satisfaction. Because he personally experienced 1,000 years he enjoyed. After that, he is saying, I am not still satisfied after 1,000 years of continuous enjoyment. So because of that only, it is said one must voluntarily give up his lusty relationship with his wife. So that is very, very important instruction. This is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because we know that the other religions, like they are like promoting all these things, this lust and other things. There are words like which telling, okay, you will get this after death, you will enjoy with many more women, like that. But our scriptures are totally opposite. Even while you are living here itself, they are telling to give up. This is purity. This is purity. Not, like tempting more and more. They are telling to come out of all this entanglement. That is the beauty of this scripture. And this is the authentic scripture which will tell you to come out of all these material entanglements. Yes. So, with that we can understand that this importance of this instructions, and we should pray to the lotus feet of Krishna and our Guru Maharaj that we get strength to follow this instruction. Prabhuji, I think is in phone. Yeah. So, any questions and any discussions on this further? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So this sloka is we got this association of Gaurang Darshan, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. And Prabhuji was very fortunate that he served 2 weeks, Prabhuji. It's a great fortune and blessing. Personal association for 2 weeks and service there, service also.
Not 1 or 2 days, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. That is Krishna's mercy, because to serve such a pure devotee,
especially Kanaya especially what Kanaya devotees enjoyed, but
yes.
That's just a contemplation. So whatever we can in realization, here also says he realized what he has. That is the important thing, Prabhu. So also I very say the explain Aranya Rodhanam. If you are not remembering Krishna, there is no benefit. Just like Aranya Rodhanam. So he's explaining this sloga. So we are very fortunate to hear from him. Also very how that days we cannot forget that one, Prabhuji. That is my experience. So thank you for the organizing this program, Prabhuji. Thank you.
All
Hare
glories
Krishna.
to Anutama Gopal Prabhu. I think Prabhuji taken all the efforts
Wonderful.
for hosting and
Prabhuji, it happens rarely only. Like
yeah.
lockdown. I heard the first time this one happening to somebody in Kanayadash, I
Yeah.
think.
Blessing
Blessings
in
in
disguise.
disguise. Yes. So
Everybody had, even kids enjoyed actually. Kids are very much inspired.
everybody enjoyed, I think.
Like converting calamity into opportunity, blessing in disguise, as you told.
Yes.
Calamity to opportunity.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu. Yes.
As Prabhuji told, he never stayed more than 4 days or 5 days anywhere. I mean, two different places, maybe 2 or 3 times, but continuously in one place. More
No,
than
so far no. Yes.
no, yeah, that's what Prabhuji
That
told.
blessing was there for Kanyadesh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
Sure.
my God. Hari.
2 days of writing also. That's blessing.
Amazing, yes.
Progress, continuous physical association.
Yes. And Sadananda Prabhuji entirely, completely utilized that. Everybody. Okay, Hari Bol. It's
Hare
amazing.
Krishna.
Babuji, now I think tonight is the flight from
4 p.m. 4 o'clock is his flight. So 1 o'clock Prabhuji will be in the airport. 4 p.m. local time. Here local time 4 p.m.
Yeah, 10 hours drive. But in